Well, today is going to be more VIP stuff. Gonna work on the Infiniti, and I gotta do wheel bearings, and then lower it a little bit more now that the suspension's settled. Ugh. Well, but first, let me move all this stuff out so we can actually get the car out. Nothing like a lineup of VIP whips. God, I miss this car. She's doing great. It's just I don't drive her very much. But we're gonna take care of that that wheel bearing issue, which the front ones are they're starting to make a little bit of noise, starting to get a little bit of a howl, so I'm gonna replace them before they get too bad. And then also I'm gonna lower it a little bit. Lower it a little bit more now that the suspension is settled. But yeah, can't wait. All right, first things first, got it in the barn. We're gonna lift up the front end, get it on jack stands, get the front wheels off, and then yeah, guess we'll start from there. Got the Infiniti in the air, got the wheels off of it. They are filled with cobwebs and stuff just because it's been sitting for so long. But the problem I'm having is this uneven wear on the inside, even getting down to almost cord. This is not camber wear or anything like that. What's happening is the wheel bearing's so loose, it wobbles and it starts creating its own toe and toe wear, so it just starts just chopping it right up. We're gonna flip these tires because obviously this whole side is beautiful, and I'll start running that on the outside, but I don't drive the car very much, so we can usually get a whole nother season out of those tires. But yep, so we're going to take the brakes off, the disc off, cap off, take the axle out of there, take the whole unit out, and well, press the wheel bearings out. And then I'm also, while I'm in here, I'm going to lower this down about a ½ inch because we still got some room to go low. So yep, gonna do that right now. All right, as you can see, got the 2 bolts off, got the spindle nut off. The whole hub assembly just pulled right out. Got it right here. And of course, we have to take the end cap off to get to the nut. I had to take the wheel seal off. I got another one, so that's why I destroyed this one, because I know a new one's going on there. Got the little snap ring out of there. Just with these ones, it's easy as a flat head screwdriver. And of course, got to press the wheel bearings out. They don't look terrible, but I know they were howling, so I know the wheel bearings are just getting wore out. And before they start getting bad, I'm going to change them out. So we got to press it out through the back. And good thing my brother got this little nice DIY press kit for bushings and bearings and everything in between, so we'll be able to use the biggest one, probably this too, to push that axle out, or the wheel bearing out, and then put another one in and put this bad boy back together. And of course, all these wheel bearings, they come with a little bit of grease right from the store, but you always want to pack them full of grease. So we'll get the new one out here in a second and do that. Tell you what, this kit worked pretty dang good. A little hard to get out of the beginning. Of course, it's all that heat was kind of baking that bearing race in there. So got it out though. You can see the grease is pretty dark. You got some discoloration on the inside barrel there, just from the heat. So she's definitely getting a little warm. The races aren't too bad. You can see a little bit of lines in there, but not too bad. So all in all, not crazy. Okay, now we're gonna do this one. Like I said, it comes from the factory with a little bit of grease, but that's just a little bit of grease. So obviously you want to put some wheel bearing grease. This is just some multi-purpose wheel bearing and chassis grease that I've had So definitely want to put a little bit in there, and then well, we'll put it right back in. All right, got it all back together. So got the wheel bearings pressed in, got the locking ring back on the back, got the new axle seal in there, and then of course I got the washer nut, the actual locker nut itself. This one, the torque recommendations online was like 150 to, it was like 150 to 206, so quite a big range. So I went ahead and did it to 160, 165 just to make sure she's good. And then of course put the cap back on. Now I'm going to put all the brakes back on, the wheels back on, and then go to the other side and do it all over again. And I'll spare you guys going through that whole side and explaining it. So we'll just get it done, and then we'll get to lowering this thing. All right, got both sides done. Woo-hoo. A little bit of sweating, a little bit of heartache trying to get these wheel bearings out. This kit that we got works great with the threaded bar and with the tubes and whatnot, but I think we're gonna get the hydraulic, you know, bearing press and use those same tubes and parts, because I mean those things work great, but I tell you what, trying to thread that rod and pushing out a wheel bearing, I'd use the breaker bar, and I don't really want to get that sweaty doing wheel bearings. So I think we'll just get a press next time and use this kit with that press. But other than that, they're together. We haven't adjusted it because I'm going to drop these tires off and have them flip the tires around so that way I have a usable surface. Then we'll get to driving once we get it lowered and see where it's sitting at. But yep, for now we're gonna go take the Lexus into town, see if these big ass 19s fit in the trunk, and then we're gonna get them rotated. Just got back from dropping off the wheels and tires to have them flipped and rotated. Now we have to lower this bad boy. So I can't remember if I bottomed out the internal part of the strut in here or not, because I tried keeping this pretty much preloaded from the factory. I mean, you could lower it down and it would lower your height, but then you start getting rid of your preload and you start messing with your actual dampening ability and whatnot, and you might possibly bottom it out. So I'm gonna loosen this one up and see if we can't bring this body diameter down a little bit more. And we're only gonna go about a ½ inch, just so that rim sits closer like the back is. And it's technically, I can go lower if I want to, but I kind of like the way it looks right now. Plus, I mean, if I ever do get a body kit for this, which I definitely am thinking about it, one of the actual like old school VIP Japanese ones, they're just really expensive, and I'm trying to find the right one. I mean, you can get one on eBay and you're looking at a little over $1,000, but it's not quite the style I'm looking for. And I know the ones that are like on the Japanese Yahoo ones, the old school legit ones, handmade and whatnot, I really want one. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get in, but until then, I know I want to get some JDM grills and a couple other things for this thing. But other than that, I think the car is perfect like it is for now, but we definitely need to get that front end lowered. So yeah, let's do this. All right, we got it adjusted down. Yep, that's about how much I wanted to go down. So we're sitting at just about a ½ more inch of room. Now I could always go back and obviously take this gap out. I had to not only bring the strut in more, but I had to bring this spring down a little bit more. Not much more, probably about thickness of this wrench, which is fine. I'm not going to take that much rebound out of it, so guess we'll wait until the wheels are done, which should be done in a couple of hours. We'll go get them, we'll mount them up, and then we'll see where the front end sits after that.
Hey, well, it's the next day. The tire shop, unfortunately, couldn't get my wheels finished. They were really busy for this weekend. A lot of cars coming through, and couldn't get my tires done in time. So now we're gonna go pick them up and then put them on the Infiniti. Get that whole thing finished. Hopefully, they have them done. They better, at least. Back home with the wheels. Time to get them on this Infiniti. Well, they're dirty, but they're done. Now time to get them on the Infiniti and then see how well that wheel bearing did. Hoping it all goes smoothly, because if it's a bushing or something like that that's making a little bit of noise, then I'll be mad. Got her all set. Lowered in the front slightly. Lowered a little bit more, I should say. Got the wheel bearings on. She's gonna need an alignment. I think the toe is a little bit out on the front. I think that's part of the reason why it was going through tires on the front. Look at these two cars together. Woo. Can't wait to start driving. It probably won't be till next year. I think I want to get new headlights, get a new JDM grill. Looking good, looking very good. Yeah. Now a word from our sponsor. Cars. You know what's better than cars? Knowledge. You know what's better than knowledge? BMX bikes. And scooters. And more BMX bikes and more scooters. And even more BMX bikes. If you follow my one-step program of addictive collecting nature, well, you'll have a lot of BMX bikes and cars. See ya.